All right. Welcome in, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to our first episode of the adventure, The Dragon's Hymn. We have our three lovely players. We have Bree here, returning as one of her previous characters, Zarya Kardove, the elf princess. We have Brett playing the brave and unexploded Thaddeus, our dwarven alchemist. And we have Alex here, back with our favorite auntie, or mommy, Mama Merla. Some time has passed since all three of their previous adventures, years even. They've grown and gone on a few hijinks of their own, gone to different lands, and returned back to the guild house of the monster hunters inside of the city of Lylith. We're going to tune in to see what conversations are going on inside the guild house, but everybody, grab an ale, prepare for a tale, for all are welcome at the Banshee's Wail. So the three of you and Thaddeus's companion, Yedra, anyone remembers what's going on with him, are sitting around a table inside the guild house, discussing what's going on in the lands and why Thaddeus and Yedra have come here. Thad has met with the guild master, Waka, the Tauren female who runs the Monsters Hunters, and we'll let him explain here in a moment. The four of you are gathered around the table in the meeting room. Waka has already got an explanation from Yedra and Thad about what's going on, but she has grabbed two of her most experienced hunters, and two with experience specifically in killing dragons, and has given them a meeting as she wants the two of them to go with Thad and Yedra to investigate what's going on in the lands. So, four of you are sitting at the table. Yedra looks over at Thad. Friend, would you like to explain to them the questions on what we're doing here?
Uh, yeah. So we're looking into what's going on. It's making everyone so upset. We have our suspicion on an item that might have taken. Side note, do we want to tell him about the dragon's heart?
I mean, friend, you just said it aloud. But
Whoops.
we did investigate. I don't know if that particular item, Thad, has been taken or not. It's a bit hard to find at the bottom of the ocean. But the two of you, essentially, as Merla and Zara, you're looking at this regal-looking high elf, pulled back blonde hair, long to his shoulders, wearing very decadent attire. Looks like a nobleman. A little on the thin frame side. He talks with his hands a lot, and his voice tends to rise when he gets passionate about, as you're hearing through the conversation. There has been some. How do I put this? Mishaps going on with dragons near this particular city, and me and Thad have come back here from a faraway land. We won't go into that. To find out exactly what's going on, because I'm sure the two of you are aware, one dragon is a problem for a town or city. A group of them may be a problem for the continent. Waka has explained to me that the two of you have dealt with dragons before, and you're familiar with the lands around here. Have either of you noticed anything in particular?
By noticed anything, what exactly do you mean? Because you seem very familiar with dragons too.
Well, me and dragons have an intimate relation, but in particular, dragons around the area.
Are we talking Peaches intimate? Or
the fruit?
Oh, so you haven't met Peaches. We'll save that for a later time.
Never mind.
You can
Curious and nervous
terrified.
at the same time.
You should, yeah, terrified is a better way to go on that one.
Well, when I say anything in particular, I mean, have you seen dragons flying around when normally they wouldn't be? Have you ran into any, or even spoken with some to get an idea on maybe something going awry?
Well, there was sort of casually a ghost dragon that my brother killed the first version of him, and then we had to kill the second version after he killed my brother. So if that's what you're talking about, yeah, that did happen.
A ghost dragon. That is a legend in itself.
Yeah, it's been a while since that. But yeah, he did kill my brother. So then we killed the ghost. Or captain. He didn't make it.
Well, I mean, this problem has been going on for quite some time. It sounds like it's started a few years ago with some dragons coming out of hiding and adventurers, and nothing to necessarily be alarmed about, but I believe there may be an organization or something killing dragons in particular. I don't know what for, but it has created an imbalance, and dragons seem to be reacting poorly to it.
Well, the dragons probably shouldn't be hunting people that kill dragons, because I did speak with the guild, and I know there was also a nightmare dragon around the same time as the ghost dragon. I didn't see it, but other people in the guild did, and they killed that one too. So My thought is the dragons are kind of putting themselves in a rough situation, hanging out with Monster Guild people who kill dragons for a living.
Hmm.
And then I just wiggle my teeth belt casually.
Sorry, you're gonna scare away our new friends. Let's try and be nice at least for another 15 minutes, okay?
Sorry, I forget
Manners.
about that part. Yeah.
For someone with such soft features, that's a bit disturbing.
Oh, you haven't even seen the scars.
Perhaps later.
Okay.
But I'm also, for us, as long as the two of you are intrigued in joining us in this investigation, I have asked Waka, as essentially on cue, Waka actually peeks in through the door, to bring council member Ezekiel. He in particular has been investigating this even without me contacting him, but he was ecstatic to hear that he isn't the only one who's noticed this. So I believe he has some information that could push us into the right direction. And Walker, love, is he here by chance? Yes, he's right here, actually. As Walker steps back out of the doorway, and a white dragonborn wearing a sort of helmet made of gold, covering his face kind of as a decoration, wearing finely made black silk robes with gold armor pieces on the shoulder and kind of draped down to an exquisite design, steps in. Hello. I've heard that you four are investigating the dragons.
That's correct.
That's definitely true. But before we even talk about dragons, who is your seamstress? Because I absolutely need to get myself a set of whatever we got going on right there.
Oh, this la. He actually does a spin
Yes.
to show the whole thing. Tailor-made on request.
Gorgeous.
I will send you her information, though she works for a fee.
You must not know who I am. That's no problem. Please feel free to send me her information. I would love that. Thank you so much. We can talk about dragons now.
I just lean over to Yedra and be like, how is that like nice side of her when we first met?
I don't know, friend. But let's hear Ezekiel out. Yedra, friend, we've already spoken, and I believe I have a lead for you and your team to follow. Don't all look excited at once.
Do go on. Have a seat, please. Make yourself comfortable. Do you want anything? Waka makes the best snacks. The Bavarian pretzel here is to die for. I have some extra salt in my pocket if you wanted to season it a little bit more. It's beyond your salts. Don't tell her I said that.
Walker, darling, can you leave us alone? I believe you said you were going to stay out of this mission. Walker bows. Yes, I will tend to guild matters. As she leaves the room, closing the door behind her, Merla, you actually peek up, looking out the door, you see your sister actually taking some food and putting it on the table of one of your guildmates, Roskar. She's manning the dining area right now.
I reach out my hand and just wait for Merla to put snacks into my hand.
I give her 4 almonds and what looks to be a rock.
Merla, keep that one.
Oh, that's from the beach from the other day. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that. It's a
okay.
good rock, though. Have you
It's a
seen
good
it?
rock. It's a nice
Very
rock.
smooth.
I chew on my almonds.
Yedra leans over. I believe he's going to tell us about what's going on right now.
Max first. Now I'm ready.
I think she's a little angry. Well, if all of you are ready. So, as it seems Yedra has informed you, there's been a mass of dragons either dying or fighting with some thing. I don't know if it's an individual or a group, but they've stayed in the shadow, and we don't know hardly anything about them. But I have word just recently, only a couple dawns ago, word of a red dragon in an area came to me. It wasn't causing necessarily any trouble, but when an adult red dragon enters an area with people, there are some worries to be had.
Were they like just followers, or are they friends? Or...
Well, it came from a particular tavern owner. I believe it's ran by the family. I believe his name was Seifel something along that. They run a tavern just off the main road, and said that they saw a dragon flying overhead for 3 days in a row. It seemed to go at one time and come back, almost like clockwork. And again, dragons usually do things by themselves, so to have any sort of timing makes me believe that it might be working with someone or devising something. I'm not saying to kill this dragon in particular, but if you could speak with it, maybe learn some information, maybe try to listen, see if it's talking with somebody, even follow the dragon. I will leave that expertise up to you, but I would love to get some information.
Ezekiel, have you seen my new friend's belt? Your belt of teeth? Or is it a...
I shake my belt just kind of casually.
I believe my friend, as he waves his robe, could fashion that into something a bit more aesthetic for you.
Actually, I would love that, but my point was more on the side of we tend to
Zarya's not in the business of asking questions.
I have a bit of a problem where I stab first and then ask questions after they're dead.
Never.
So never.
Well, I love that idea, but he actually, like, you can see him kind of turn toward the other two. Maybe that's plan B.
I think Zarya's been doing a lot of work on herself and has grown a lot in the time that I've known her. And I think that this would be a great exercise of self-control for her.
At the moment she's saying this, I have unsheathed Eldwin, and I'm just running my finger along it, letting it cut my finger, and just really uncomfortably smiling.
Is he thirsty?
Is she okay?
Depends on your definition. I've found that in these sorts of moments, it's best just to give her what she needs and let her do the rest. And I just hand her a handkerchief and a Band-Aid.
Yedra leans over to Thad. I'm a little worried, but
very capable.
Trouble.
Very capable. So you said that the dragon was flying over this tavern twice a day? Thrice a day.
Believe it was just, from my letter, just twice. It was seen leaving in the morning and coming back near dusk, around the same time for 3 days in a row.
And has it been continuing this behavior since then?
Well, I only got the letter just on the previous morning, so I have yet to check in.
Where is this tavern? You said it's the outskirts of town?
Yes, some ways up toward the mountains nearby.
Hmm.
If you follow the main
Beautiful
road,
area.
about a half day's travel by horse, of course. It's just you can't miss it. I've actually stayed there in the past
Do they have good food?
to die for.
All right.
That's my favorite kind. Really quick though, Yedra, didn't you say you have a, how did you phrase it? Intimate relationship with dragons?
Oh, yes, I speak their native tongue. I've
Huh.
conversated with many before, so.
So I'm just curious, what exactly do you need us for if you're in the business of asking questions? Because interrogation tends to be outside my normal ballpark.
Well, sorry. Well, especially in this case, as he has said, it is a red dragon. They tend to be burn everything and ask questions later, so I'm hoping conversation is appropriate, but it might not be. And again, in this case, which honestly, Ezekiel, thank you for the information, but one of the worst case scenarios, an adult red dragon is also one of the most powerful of dragons. And me and Thad, especially if there's more than one, could use the assistance if things were to go, awry.
Fair enough. All I can tell you is I'm happy to go and I'm happy to assist. But if we end up asking questions, you better find me something to kill.
I'm sure we can figure out a way to keep down your rage.
It is a mountain range. I'm sure I can find something for you to
How about a
sneak
bear?
that sword.
It's been a while since you killed a bear, right? Mountain bear.
Maybe there's some hill
You
giants
know,
up there.
Yeah. Maybe
Bear
a
teeth
goblin.
What's
really
a
don't
bear's
look
ever
that
do
good.
to you?
Bear-
Um,
No. Bear teeth don't look that good on my belt. I prefer, something a little bit more hardy. Anyway,
What was she
Council
doing?
Member Ezekiel, we will leave very soon. I will set up horses for us to go up to this tavern. I really appreciate your information.
yes, Ezekiel, thank you so much.
hey,
Yes.
don't forget about your seamstress. I absolutely have to have that.
Oh, let me. He actually pulls out a parchment and an ink pen. He sets it on the table and dots and just starts writing. Here is her contact information. Her address in the city. Make sure you mention I sent you. She'll give you a discount.
Oh, I so appreciate you. I tuck it into my little situation and then I give him a little kiss on the cheek, but my mouth still has my blood from licking my sword clean. So I just kiss a little blood onto his face and smile.
He doesn't even notice the blood on his face.
I'm going to pass him a handkerchief as he's leaving and just be like, you might want that for later.
Oh, thank you. And my team, we are researchers primarily. If you happen to exterminate this dragon, if you could keep it intact for research purposes, we've made very many scientific advances by doing these types of research, of course, as you've seen in the city of Lyalisk, as well as dragon eggs, things like that.
I can
Hard
promise
to come by.
I can promise to give you everything except for one thing too.
Oh, that's fine. You take as many teeth as you need.
No problem.
Pleasure to meet you.
He bows and walks out of the room.
Arya, you were coming on a little spicy on that one.
Marla, you know that I haven't added anything to my belt in months.
I know.
And
I know.
I'm getting angsty. And
That
you know how I
actually-
feel about questions.
Listen, I'm really glad that you brought that up because I actually have a present for you. You met my sister. She's lovely, isn't she?
Mhm.
But in that whole thing, I did happen to save you one vampire thing.
You didn't.
I did.
Oh.
Don't get carried away, but I knew that you would like it, and so I snagged it for you.
Oh, this is so nicely next to my Remoraz too.
Is that the fang of a vampire lord?
It's a long story.
I'm sitting there fastening it to my belt next to my Remoraz. He's just so enthralled and happy right now. I kind of lick it a little bit, just
It's not a very exciting story. Just, you know, summer vacation.
Thad, after this meeting, we will plan everything to leave. After this meeting, I do need to speak with you privately.
Of course. I think we have a few things we didn't speak about yet.
Perfect. The two of you, I will set up arrangements to travel and get a carriage for us. If you wouldn't mind, as he gestures toward the door.
Oh, he wants us to leave, honey. Let's just go out. We'll go talk to Jenny for a minute. So nice. This whole little meeting, that was great. I learned a lot. We'll just be right out there. Holler if you need us. Okay? And don't forget what I said about the Bavarian pretzels. That was for real. They are undersalted. They're very good.
I'm glad you have your pocket salt for us, though.
Anytime.
Two of you walk toward the door and step out. You see the guild house. Jenny is actually at this point cleaning up Roscar's plates and stacking them up, and she begins to walk toward the kitchen. To your right, you see Waka sitting on her own couch. She takes up almost all of it, the very large female minotaur. And then you see Ano, your orc chef, manning the bar right now.
I
You two
leave the
step-
room, but I'm standing up against the door, pressing my ear against it, trying to listen like a creep. But I'm also holding my hand out, waiting for somebody to bring me a drink at the same time, just standing there with no words.
Ginny actually sees this. She's gotten used to being in the guild house and looks over at Ano and lets out a quick. Ano knows what this means and starts pouring a drink. And then she with her other hand waves over to Merla.
I wave back and I go over and help her start bussing tables and doing dishes.
All right. And Thad, Yedra, after they leave, sits down actually across the table from you. So, friend, of course, we've been through so much. How do you feel with these two joining us?
I feel like we need to keep Mila around for a buffer at the very least. Sarah, what do you say her name again?
I believe it was Zarya.
Zarya. She seems to have a bit of a bloodlust, and I have a feeling that's going to prove to be a problem once we actually try to get some information. If at all possible. I mean, if it's not possible, then she'll be a great asset, I'm sure.
Yes, it's weighing risk and reward at this point, and I think the reward does outweigh the risk at this time. But I will definitely have to keep an eye on Zarya. It seems as though Merla helps with keeping her under control, but
True. And we're fortunate we found those crystals not that long ago. I can always create a force field around her to keep her from murdering if we can actually get a dialogue open.
oh yes, and of course you're familiar with my species and what we can do. I can of course
Yeah. Keep her from
Yes.
going too far. Yes.
though it's been a while since I've encased anyone, but if the need arises.
If the need arises, yeah. And it's probably best for her to not know who you truly are, of course, just emphasizing that due to her nature.
Yeah. Luckily, as I investigated the dragon's heart, I did fill my belly with sand, so I should be ready for combat or anything goes awry.
That is good. Yeah, it's been a while. A little rusty. You can just see my suit glow as I'm shrugging my shoulders.
I know. I believe this is the first time you're trying out the what was that crystal that you discovered?
The Illiquis crystals? How do I say it? It's protite crystal.
That's right. That was beautiful. You named it in Draconic. But yes, we'll see how that works out. And if the mining in my country goes well, we should have plenty of those crystals to do more experiments once we return.
Oh, that'd be lovely. I love tinkering with these things. So much potential.
And of course, if things go awry, your mind and myself, we will try and make sure everyone comes out of this alive. But I do have to prioritize keeping you and your genius worth for the country.
I appreciate that. Let's just try to keep it alive if we can.
Yes, we will continue to analyze the situation and, again, weigh risk versus the reward.
Say if they go crazy and want to bomb everything, maybe and run.
Thank you for the recommendation of Waka. She does at least seem to know much about hunting
That's for sure.
my kind, which is kind of worrisome, but
Really a little discomforting, I would say, and especially when they're talking about why would two dragons want to hang out with those that want to hunt them. So,
yeah. But my kind have never gotten along with the others anyway.
it's true.
Okay.
Shall we head out and say hello to them before they get too antsy? Or too drunk, I'm not sure.
Yeah, give me one moment as he starts kind of going through some documents and taking a moment to... And how do you feel? Do you think we can trust them with knowing about myself?
I don't think so, not yet.
Okay. It's sad, but I will arrange the carriage.
Yeah, it'd be
I can...
but
Yes. The normal way of travel would be faster, but for appearances, I'll use the carriage.
I think that's for the best for right now.
Okay.
Since I'm still leaning on the door, how much of this can I hear?
Roll me a perception check.
First roll the campaign, or short.
You heard the whole conversation. In the middle of it, Jenny has handed you a drink without asking question or anything, or making even a sound. She just walks over with her quiet halfling feet and hands you the drink and nods and walks away as her and Merla continue to clean up and make everything tidy.
I'm just smirking as I listen and drink, just happy as a little clam.
You hear as the seats kind of pull back and both of them stand up, and you hear footsteps coming toward the door.
I stand in the doorway with my drink and one arm crossed across my side, just smiling.
Oh,
Oh, what? Why are you by the door?
You know, for people that are hiring somebody to help with investigation, you'd think that you would maybe be a little better with secrecy. Just a thought. And ideally, having private conversations behind thin doors in a tavern that I frequent, where everybody will bring me my drinks while I listen in, might not have been your best decision. So why don't we just take a couple quick seconds and get everything ironed out before we start this mission so that we can ensure success for everyone.
And as you say this, Thad sees Yedra, his hair kind of stands up a bit. He reaches and actually puts a hand on your shoulder. Miss, if we're going to be working together, I think some restraint might be best.
You know,
And allowing each their privacy.
I can appreciate what you're asking. However, what you're asking of me is to put my life on the line to help in your investigation, at which point I am absolutely entitled at least the bare minimum information that you have prior to entering this mission. Now, this is not my first go round, nor is it my second or fifth. As you can tell, I wiggle my belt again, and I would love to respect your privacy if you were honest. And unfortunately, that's not the tone we've set off on. So, if you don't mind, I'll give you a couple minutes to gather what you'd like to give us as far as information. I'm happy to share all of ours with you, and then we can proceed.
so
Miss,
what is
don't worry, Thad. I'll take care of this. Miss, I also want to make sure everyone, if we are going to be working together, is aware that you are not assisting us, but everyone of this city, the next city, the nation, the continent, and yourself, in actuality. So, if you think there's any sort of leverage, you can go about your merry way if you wish. But I've given you all of the information pertaining to this mission in particular. Anything outside of that, but to make things very clear, he looks over. Waka, Merla will be accompanying us, but I think this princess may stay home.
I would like to walk over and join this conversation. Zarya, I know that you haven't had to do many job interviews in your life, but you may have made a bad first impression. As much as I
Marla,
appreciate...
You know how I feel about secrets.
Do you remember what we talked about when knowing when the time to talk is and knowing when the time not to talk is? This would be a time not to talk. We're going to just have you sit down for a second and remain quiet. Okay? Okay.
Sidra actually walks past Zarya, and you actually see him turn his back with a flourish, begin to walk over to Waka.
Okay. That was a little... I really appreciate the offer, but I don't do anything without Zarya.
I shrug
Cool.
and reach my hand out for an almond.
I hand her a half of a cupcake.
I get really excited and sit down on the floor and start picking up my cupcake.
Waka, by chance, are there anyone else available right now that could accompany us with a bit more manners. That's a good point, Thad. Yes, professionalism. Or is your establishment just filled with brutes who know no bounds or honor? Waka looked at him. The one thing we ask of our members is they get the job done. If that is what you want, those two can help you with it. But right now, they are the most qualified members I have home. Hmm.
I'm gonna go up to what's his name?
Yedra.
Yedra. I'm gonna go up to Yedra and pull him over to the side and say, I know how she comes off. And I know that it can be very disconcerting. And she talks a big game, which she does have the means to back up. But all of that being said, she is a good spirit. She's just been through a lot. She has a lot of baggage. I've been working on it with her. She's grown a lot in the time that I've known her. And as long as you are respectful of her and what she's been through, she will be loyal to a fault.
Well, as it seems, you might not have a choice.
I'm going to be very honest with you. You didn't have a choice to begin with. Even if other guild members were home, nobody is going to do as good of a job as we would.
Risk and reward, Thad. Risk and reward.
Yes.
Fine. But, Merla, I asked you to keep her in line, at least to a degree.
I would be lying if I said I could do that 100%, but I will do my best to help her with her manners.
I would greatly. He gestures a hand toward you. Greatly appreciate it.
I
Right.
say that with the expectation that you will also hold yourself accountable and be on your best behavior.
He holds his hand out in a gesture.
I grab it like halfway down the arm in a man shake.
You do that, but you feel his own grip as he slides down and grips your hand, kisses it, and bows. I will leave it to you.
At that moment, I toss my last cupcake bite, catch it, stand up, and I go, you know what? I feel a lot better. I must have been starving. I think we really got started on the wrong foot, guys. I get really hungry sometimes, and I just can't control myself. Lesson for everybody, bring snacks. I'm Zarya. It's really nice to re-meet you.
Dad's going to say, nice to meet you as well. And he's going to go over and talk to the cook. And just
I
ask,
shake the air since he didn't shake my hand. Okay.
just going to ask the cook, what's this one's favorite snacks? Is there anything I can grab? You know, she gets cranky.
She loves the pretzels.
Pretzels. Can I get like 10 of them with extra salt?
How long will you be gone?
I'm not sure. We have at least a week to get there.
I will prepare 30.
Sounds good. Have a
Turns and
bite.
walks into the kitchen.
I'm still standing there with my hand extended, waiting for Yidra or anyone to shake my hand, just like,
I grab it and I just caress it down.
It's at least a better second impression. I think this will work fine, Waka. I will give my review afterwards.
I run over, kiss Waka on the forehead in a total sugar rush, and I'm like, don't worry, I promise I'll do a great job.
This is why it was only half of a cupcake.
As I'm like literally dancing through the room with my drink, just like.
Well, I will go prepare the carriage for us all.
Hey, really quick about the carriage situation. I'm not saying that I heard everything or anything, but if I did maybe possibly hear you mention that there was a faster way, and I like fast. Fast things are way more fun. Did you actually have a different way to get there? Because that could be awesome.
We do have a different way. It's kind of top secret and in the works, though.
I'm really good at keeping secrets. I promise. I swear I won't tell anybody, and I promise I'll do my best to be nice. I just need snacks on hand at all times, and preferably blood in the next like 24 to 48 hours. But other than that, I swear I'll be really good.
I'll trust our secret worker.
Probably best. Zarya, the magic that it would take for this travel, I think, would be best for when we arrive, in case danger is there. It's a higher spell that I think we would conserve the energy for dealing with the dragon.
That totally makes sense, doesn't it, Zarya? Because we're very respectful of other people's boundaries.
I get really, really, really close to his face like this. You know, I still think you're hiding something. But you can keep your secrets for now. I'll figure them out, don't you worry. And then I just skip out of the tavern.
I don't give her sugar very often, but desperate times.
Maybe we should hold off on that for the remainder of the journey.
Oh, I would never do that in a battle type situation. That's just purely social. Social sugar only.
So sugar doesn't make her faster at fighting.
I lean back in the door. No, but pretzels do! And I lean back out.
Pretzels for fighting, sugar for conversating. Got it.
If you're going to make travel arrangements, I do have some affairs of my own I'd like to tidy up before we leave.
Yes, I will go make the arrangements for travel. Thad, you stay here and prepare the pretzels, I suppose. I will come back with the carriage out front.
Right. That sounds good to me.
Pedro walks and leaves the tavern, walking past everyone.
I'm outside with my sword, just cleaning it with my tongue and cupcake all over my face.
Are you... You know what, I'm not going to ask questions. And he continues walking.
You weren't supposed to see that. And I just keep licking my sword.
I need to go talk to my sister.
Okay.
You look over, your sister is sitting at the
Right.
bar, sitting on one of the stools, just kind of staring up, kicking her feet about.
I walk up to her and I sit down next to her and I say, Jenny, I know I haven't really been gone since we've been back together, but I have to leave. And I wouldn't be going if it wasn't important. I told myself I wasn't going to take any more assignments for at least a year, but this is very important. And I know you understand, but I also don't like the idea of leaving you so soon.
It's okay. I knew something would come up eventually with your work. I'll stay here. Waka will keep me busy and just bring me back a souvenir.
I will. I want you to keep training while I'm gone. And make sure that that cook doesn't put too much oregano in the soup, because I've seen him do it before and I know he's going to try and do it again. And I want you to make sure that he does it just the way that I showed you how, okay?
She takes out a small notebook, flips a few pages. The soup. I'll make sure it's done right, and I will continue my footwork and sword training.
Good. I'm proud of you. Love you very much. I'll try to send a note. Marla starts crying unconsolably.
I'm attuned to her cries and hear them, and I immediately run back inside, and I just run behind her and like drape my arms over her.
Sis, you have to stop doing this every time you go get groceries as well, okay?
I know. It's just we lost so much time together, and you're so
Marla.
big.
Merla, you know what would help? A song. Deedle, 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 deedle. It's gonna be fine, and we'll be back. And don't even worry, Jenny's gonna be fine because she's awesome, and it'll be great. And we'll go have an adventure, and I probably will kill something, and that'll make me feel better. And you have snacks, and it's gonna be fun. All right, gotta go. Bye, Jenny. And then I run back outside.
Marla pulls out several very dirty handkerchiefs and just blows her nose and folds them back up and puts them back in her pocket. That did make me feel better. She's grown up a lot too. Okay.
I think I'm gonna go check on the soup.
Okay. Good job. Thanks, honey.
You're just kind of standing like 10 feet away, just kind of standing there.
Just sitting there at the table, twiddling my thumbs, like, I thought she was the stable one. Just thinking to myself, not saying out loud.
You hear from next to them, Waka just like sitting on the couch with her arms basically covering over the top of it. It's always like this, boy. Get used to it.
I'll do my best. I was looking out, I was like, I'm not used to so many emotions either way. Petra is very even keel all the time.
Well, ladies, gonna move on?
Okay. The are the pretzels in the bag? There's pretzels in the bag, right?
I got a few from the cook.
Oh, you're already my new favorite. I run over and jump onto him, giving him a hug. I'm like, spin me, spin me, spin me!
Like trying to spin, but your feet are dragging on the ground because I'm pretty sure I'm like half your height.
Merla, how much sugar did you give her this time?
It was only a half of a cupcake. It was an emergent. She was being an absolute.
Merla,
Sorry.
that's going to be at least 2 more hours.
I know. It's okay. I'll give her some prunes in like 15 minutes, and that should settle her down a little.
We have like a day's worth of writing to go ahead of us.
I do hope. Remember, Merla, this is a big job, so please.
Waka, when have I
Okay.
ever let you down?
I know, darling, but
I pipe up.
A
Yeah, Waka,
big
when have we
job.
ever let you down?
Not the time, Zarya.
As I'm literally bouncing.
so I need to bring up what happened during the Draco Hydra, Zarya.
I mean, I killed it. I pull its tooth up, lick it a little bit.
We were supposed to save the town, not use them as bait.
I mean, helpful to
Sorry.
specify that first. Okay, we gotta go, and don't worry, I'm gonna do a great job. I promise. I won't even eat any more cupcakes till I get back. I
It's
swear.
okay.
I swear,
I'm
I
just
swear.
gonna make her run behind the carriage for the first couple.
Okay, I'll go start. I run outside.
I would like to grab a loaf of banana bread also on our way out, just for later. I put it in my pocket.
you grab the rest of the food, and the cook brings the rest of the pretzels on a tray and hands them to Thad.
Just squirrel them away everywhere I can. I thought I had a bag of holding, but I don't.
Just in his backpack.
Just everywhere.
Weave them
Salt
onto a
everywhere.
pretzel necklace. I might do that. That's a pretty good idea. I'm pretty sure I have some string in here. We could make, all of us could have matching necklaces.
I don't
It could
know
be part of our
Zarya that
game.
well yet, and I don't really want her around my neck 24/7 yet. I'd like to get to
that's a
know her
fair
first at
point.
least.
That's a fair point. It might be better on a keychain.
Maybe.
No, you don't want her in the nether regions either, probably.
Probably not.
She hasn't filed her teeth into fangs yet. I have luckily been
that's-
able to
that's
keep
good.
her from doing that. One piece of advice she's taken.
Yeah. I could see her trying to bite through some dragon hide.
All right, well, I have everything I need. I think I'm ready to go. I fidget with my new ring. It's a little bit oversized.
All right. The three of you finish your affairs in there and walk outside onto the road, and just past you see Yedra standing behind a carriage being pulled by two horses. Is everything ready, or you all prepared to go?
I'm literally running in circles behind the carriage, just
I'm ready. I was gonna bring a book. Oh, but there's no time. That's fine. It'll wait. I'll read it when I get back. You guys can story tell, right? Stories?
Yeah.
That is fantastic at storytelling. Let me tell you, you're dealing with this.
Oh,
Is
this is going to be
great at
so much fun. I haven't been on a vacation in months.
You know, they may or may not have considered this a form of torture, but I think we do it really good. Is if we let her run behind us for a little while, behind the carriage, and then she'll tire herself out.
I can tie her to the back of the carriage if you'd like.
We don't need to tie
not-
her.
not-
She'll keep up.
Yeah.
Sorry, intrusive thoughts. That's fine.
She might
Let her
enjoy
ti-
that more than you would.
yeah, that sounds like a good time. Or I could just run. It's fine. Don't worry. You guys can catch up to me. I'll start. And I just start running. The wrong direction. I'm running the opposite direction.
Zarya!
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm going to go to the front of the carriage. Just, Thad, just whistle when you're ready to leave.
I'm gonna just start whistling still.
Just catch up to me. You know, I'm just gonna start running.
Okay.
It's this way, right? This way? That way?
This way.
This way. Oh, okay. Ha. And then I start running the other way.
I don't know if Thad really knows where it is, but he pointed a direction.
So Thad, do you want to sit in the middle? Do you want a window seat? I end up sleeping, so it doesn't really matter where I sit. I can sit on the ground, actually. I'm pretty small, so I could just fold up in a little ball.
I would love a window seat. I've spent so much of my life underground, so it's nice to be.
We are going to get into some of that family trauma on this road trip.
The two of you climb in. It's a large carriage. Both sides of it have windows and a small window that show to the front where Yedra is sitting, getting everything ready to draw to get the horses going. Zarya is about half mile down the road already. Well, on we go then.
Once it gets close enough to me, I'm just going to reach up, grab the top of the carriage, and swing myself onto the top of the carriage and just stand up there, not inside. Fully standing, just.
What's that?
I crawl over Thad and open the door, stick my head out. and go, Zarya, watch out for trees while you're up there, okay, honey?
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Okay. I pull out some of the almonds that I have left over from Merla giving them to me, and I start throwing them to the children like confetti. I'm just like, here you go, children.
That'd be good.
So, Thaddeus,
Yeah.
tell me, where are you from?
I'm from a little town, a mining town. That's why I was underground all the time. So I was just, worked in the mines 24/7. I had a few friends. Dad sadly passed away about a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like
Well-
you've had a hard life.
No, it's not that bad.
I like your optimism. It shows resilience. That's how you live a good life.
I immediately
Almost like
lean
that's
up.
what brought us together.
I lean up to Yedra right behind his head, still standing on the top of the carriage. Your brother died too? Wow, sad. My brother's also dead. And then I pull out my sword again and just kind of start like touching it. All weird, still standing on the top of the carriage. If you throw me off this carriage, I swear to God, I'm gonna make his life so miserable.
Everyone just loves to hate on Yetra.
He's kind of a dick.
I have not been hating on Yedra at all. He's a little spicy, which I respect.
Did I die?
Okay, cool. Well, now you guys should hear me. Yedra snaps the reins a little, and Zarya gets pushed back, but she grabs with both hands the sides of the carriage and just hangs on, but in like a crisscross seated like on top of it.
I immediately, as that happens, pull out some rope and I just fasten it to my belt and then to the carriage really quick. And I go, try it again. This time you won't get me. Ah. And I stand back up on top of the carriage.
That was a pretty sharp turn. Did we just avoid something? A log or?
Yes, there was a large obstruction in the road, but we're fine now, I think.
Okay. Let me know if you need any help up there. I actually, I did dressage back in school, so I have some experience. That's like pony dancing. Just in case you didn't.
No, I think I'll be fine. I can speak to the horses. I'll keep everything in line.
Can you really? That's amazing.
Yes. Man of many languages.
I immediately flip and lean over it so that my head's like upside down in the window. And I just say, hey, Merla, I didn't see any obstruction, but don't worry, I'm secure. And I shake my little rope.
Good job, honey.
As she
I
does
hand her a
this,
prune.
as she does this, you hear Yedra just like sneeze, but it sounds like a fake sneeze. Yeah. And a small gust of wind hits Zarya, and her hair becomes like almost in like a fro.
I immediately pull out a big comb and start combing my hair. And as soon as I'm done combing my hair, I take Yedra's hair and I start combing his hair. And I'm like, don't worry, I got you too. That wind was crazy.
Would you like to see something cooler?
Yeah, I would.
I turn to Thad on the inside and I go, I think they're bonding.
In their own odd way. It's interesting.
Hey, Thad was one of the spells I picked up in my country. And he says a word in Draconic and snaps his finger. The top of the carriage becomes transparent, and Zarya falls through, landing on top of Thad and Merla.
Yo, that was really cool. Wait, can you put it back though? I kind of like being outside, but that was awesome.
He snaps again, but the top of the carriage is above you as it comes back.
I unfasten my rope, climb myself out the window, pull up, and flip myself back onto the top, and I scoot right behind Yedra, just like my kneecaps are touching him. I'm back. Don't worry.
Here, could you actually hold these for me?
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
do the reins.
Nice. I always love being in charge.
He just kind of nods and looks back at Thad. I leave this to you. And he disappears.
Whoa, is that guy a wizard or what? That was crazy.
You know, I don't even know sometimes. He's got some cool tricks he can do.
That must have been part of that secret stuff you guys were talking. Hey, Merla, what was in that thing you just gave me to eat? Because I'm getting so tired.
Oh, that was just a berry.
A berry. Okay. And then I just kind of lay down in the front of the carriage on that little bench thing with the reins, and I just wrap them around my arms a little bit.
I take off my cloak situation, mound it into a little pillow, and put it under her head.
Gonna go for the reins to hopefully try and make sure we don't go off path if she's falling asleep.
That clearly has different priorities.
At this point, all three of you are in the coach section of the carriage. Nobody's in the carriage. Thad has slowly pulled the reins out of Zarya's death grip.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure we'll see him by the time we get to where we're going.
do you think he's upset? Should she apologize? Or
No, he'll be fine. He's just isn't used to being so close to people.
makes sense.
Yeah, he likes his space and quiet time too.
Okay. I'll try and let her know that she needs to be a little bit more respectful of his personal space. She needs things very explicit. It helps her understand.
Okay, so no beating around the bush. Just gotta be direct.
She's very direct.
Well, we only have how many more days of travel? So
You recall it was just a half day's travel.
half days. Oh, thank goodness. Not that this isn't pleasant or anything.
At this point, I am dead asleep and snoring like a train. Just passed out. Little cupcake bits still up in my grill, but little cupcake drool, situation. Just
I'm just a little jealous. Wish I could sleep. Keep an eye out for those famous obstructions in the road.
Right. If you need a rest, just let me know. I'm happy to drive for a few hours.
No, I'll be okay. I'll be fine.
Merla, roll me a perception check.
Oh god. Oh god.
Better you than me. What do you ask me to do? I usually fail.
Bear with me.
Good. With a 21, you look over Thad. Under his eyes are quite dark. As he's holding the reins, he lets out a big yawn. You can see him kind of slouch back, trying to get comfy, but has trouble doing it. You can see kind of the lines around his eyes.
You know what? How about this? How about you teach me how to drive? I've always wanted to learn.
Okay, well, you hold them like this and kind of hands them to you. Then, if you want to go faster, just give them a little flick of the wrist and.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then I'm gonna grab one of the cushions off of the seat of the carriage and just put it next to his head also.
Oh.
You helping Yedra. Yedra sometimes forgets that you also need sleep. It's been about 2 days, and you kind of just put your head on the cushion.
And don't forget to steer.
Oh, yep.
Just every now and then you'll just
Along
wake
our
up for like
journey,
a second and just like give instruction.
we're going together through forests deep and all sorts of weather. The quiet forest grove and trickling rivers trickle, 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 soothe you to sleep tonight together. Marla checks on
Both
her
of
two
them.
sleeping babies.
Thad sleeping quietly. Zarya's letting out some snores here and there.
Cupcake snores. Classic.
Cupcake snores. A little bit of like cupcake on her cheek still.
Question. What time of day is it?
It was morning.
Oh, so we're smack middle of the daytime. Just making sure.
Yeah, a few hours past dawn. You continue riding. Hours go by as both of them sound asleep. Merla enjoys a little bit of quiet. Looking at the scenery as you pass through different forests. You look at the signs as you pass them, and you remember that you don't know if you're supposed to turn anywhere, but you think it'll be fine.
It's towards the mountains. It's a pretty big target.
Hours pass, and Azaria, you wake up first. You stand up, sit
When
up.
I wake up, I immediately draw my sword, like really uncomfortable. Is there a bubble there? That was weird. Pull my sword out and I'm like, oh my god, I had a dream that somebody ate my cupcake. I touch my face and feel the cupcake. No, that was me. It wasn't real. That's okay. I climb back up on the top of the carriage and just pull my sword out and I just start hacking off branches as we pass them.
And as she woke up very quickly, Thad, you also get woken up as when she sat up, her head clapped yours. Just on the side of the head.
Did you figure out how to steer? Did I tell you how to do that?
I am now, while they were asleep, I had come up front so I could actually see where I was going a little bit better. And so from the front, I go, oh no, I think we're good. I just want to make sure I'm going the right way.
Just take a look around and let her know if we're going the right way. I don't know. The mountains aren't
You-
behind us, right?
No. There.
You look out to the distance and you can see the mountains just a little ways down this road.
No, I think we're going the good direction. Mountains, tavern near the mountains, right?
Perfect. Thaddeus, if I were you, which I'm not, don't want to project anything, but if I were you, I'd go back to sleep. We have a lot of excitement coming up, and you're not missing anything right now.
All right. I mean, we have much longer.
Oh, and also, Zarya, if you could just unfold my cloak and put it on his lap like a blanket.
Yeah, I can do that. I take the cloak and like kind of haphazardly like chuck it and then go back to chopping my branches, just fucking up all the trees. Sorry.
Dad, you say you hear Merla say this, and then you just hear as this cloak just flies past the carriage.
That's okay. It wasn't magical. It was just my mom's. My dead.
Oh, well, that's
It's okay.
kind of sad. Are you sure?
It's just fabric. I make more of it all the time. It's my winter hobby.
Oh, okay.
That you look out just from the distance of the mountains, you know it's got at least a couple more hours before you should arrive.
Oh, I'm going to try to sleep a couple more hours. Well rested.
Merla, you hear Thad kind of curling up in the carriage, and you feel like a decent-sized branch just like land on your shoulder.
Zarya,
I grab it and toss it off the carriage. Sorry, that one was
clear
that was
the
a big
path. Don't make the path more complicated. Clear.
Your options are that I chop the trees or I chop the carriage. Which one's better?
Definitely the trees. Just try to not have them land on me or the carriage.
Small
little-
branches. Got it. Small
Precision
branches.
exercise. Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
She goes looking excited. She chops a couple, and then you leave the tree coverage, and it kind of opens up toward the mountains.
I just sit there with my sword, waiting for something to chop at.
Zarya, when's the last time you polished your belt?
You know what? But I didn't bring the polish. Did you bring the polish? Tell me you brought the polish.
I pull out a little tiny bottle of polish, and I hand her one of my many somewhat disgusting handkerchiefs. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what that must have been my curry that I made the other day. Sorry about that. Oh, here you go, honey.
I grab it and just start polishing my teeth. Every once in a while, just kind of like giving it a little lick to remember which one it is. Ah, this was one of my favorites. This is a good one.
Dad, you fall into a deep sleep and have a dream. You dream about the carriage ride, and then you're sitting in the carriage alone, and you can't see out of the carriage, and it's kind of a moment of quiet, and it feels very surreal. And then you get a moment of rest. You actually appreciate it, the quiet and everything. You kick your feet up, and then a moment passes, and then just Zarya's face pops up next to you and says, "What you doing?" And you wake up.
Oh, sorry. Were you sleeping?
Zarya, leave him alone.
Marla, you know how I feel about road trips.
Try to count the trees.
There are no more, or I'd be chopping them.
Try to count the blades of grass.
As they're talking, you do like kind of peek out the window, and you can see the mountain very close at this point, and you know the turn to getting toward the tavern, the inn, is coming up very soon.
We gotta make sure we take the next left-hand turn up here towards the mountain. It'll be right. The tavern will be right down the road. Next turn here.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Marla, as you grab the reins and look forward, you actually see the turn coming up just a little distance, and you see a man standing by the turn.
What's he doing all the way out here?
Merla, weirdo. There's a weirdo, Merla.
Hey, he could just be for a walk. Let's not make assumptions about people.
Merla, nobody goes for walks over here. Don't
He
lie.
holds up his hand and waves to you. As you're getting closer, you see, and it's Yedra just standing at the turn.
I
Oh!
told you it was a weirdo.
Okay, well, let's try to be polite, okay?
Oh, sorry. Right.
I slow down the carriage. You know, we made less
Hello,
good time
friend.
without being able to talk to the horses, but I hope that you don't mind that I drove for a bit.
I think you were one of the better options. Thank you for taking care of them. He
No problem.
brushes the manes, of course.
I pull out a half of an apple and throw it to the horses.
One of them just raises its head and catches it midair.
Good
I
reflexes.
stand there just waiting for him to wave back at me.
They're trained well. He just turns away from the carriage. If you follow this road just a little further, the tavern is right there. I will catch up with you at the entrance.
Perfect. We'll see you in a bit. What time of day is it now? Is the sunset happening?
The sun is not set. It's little past afternoon. It's kind of 3/4
Perfect.
to the sky.
Just making sure. Somebody else is going to have to drive after sunset.
I'm pretty well rested now. I got a few hours on me after a couple of days. Well, that's pretty good. 4 hours every 3 days is usually pretty good.
I don't think that that's what a growing boy like you needs, actually. When's the last time you had a healthy snack?
It's okay.
Like a vegetable. When's the last time you ate a vegetable?
As they talk, I just high-five myself once I realize that nobody's going to wave at me and just start nodding. All right.
And you look down, and Merla just turned towards Thad. Merla, you turn around to look back at the road to turn the horses, and Yedra's gone.
He's an interesting fellow.
Yeah,
He's sweet.
like I said, he has a lot of knowledge he's gained over many years. Research. Knows how to do a thing or two. Come in handy.
That guy
here.
never waves at me.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not much of a waver. I don't know if he's figured that one out yet. Maybe you can teach him.
You think he needs help with it? I could help him.
Might.
Don't even worry. When we see him again, I'll help.
Maybe you could even learn how he likes to say hello, and then you could say hello in his way.
Yeah, he seems like the type that doesn't do that, and that's not going to work for me.
That's fair. All right. I steer the horses down the left path and continue.
And you pull them around. You travel down the road for a little while, and you see this large building. It's 2 stories, and as you approach, you can see a couple other small little structures around it. Outside in the front is a well, and stairs that go on the front of the building are stairs that go up to the 2nd story. As you're kind of coming around toward it, you can also see on the back side of it there's a barn.
Ooh.
And the whole thing is nice. A wooden building, looks very well kept. And out the front, as you're pulling in, you see a sign kind of hanging and swinging in the wind that says "The Victor's Rest."
That's a pretty good name for a tavern, I gotta say.
I jump off the top of the carriage, walk up to the sign, and give it just a little kick. Just a little casual. Yeah.
You jump up, kick the sign, And as you do, it begins swinging back and forth even faster.
I point at it, looking at them, just like,
Yedra kind of walks out from behind one of the pillars that connect up to the overhang of the building, and he walks up to the front of the carriage. And thank you for taking care of the horses through the ride. They let me know you were lovely and handled them well.
as soon as I see him, I immediately stand like super straight and awkward and just stop kicking the sign, and I just,
Did you give her more sugar?
No, I whisper up to him. I think she's trying to make a good impression.
I look over at him and I try to wave again.
It is better. And he kind of just slowly raises a hand.
Oh, good job. That means the world to her. And I give him like a pat on the thigh.
Oh, would you like to see something cool?
Yes?
Thad, you should probably get out of the carriage.
Yeah. I'm on it. Go, carriage.
Have you been taking your proper breaks, Thad? I feel like you haven't rested the past couple days.
I just had one. It was lovely. So, very
Perfect,
soothing wake-up call earlier.
Then back to work we go. And he holds out this little box. It's in an octagon, a wooden box, and on the front of it are some runes, a couple circles, and what look like 8 little triangles kind of out the front of it that create a dome. It opens up, and the horse and carriage kind of become like a swirl and go into the little box.
That is a fun trick.
I literally sit down on the ground and go, wow.
Don't you have many tricks up the sleeve?
I will move you guys over to our tavern. And let me... Okay. And can everyone see? Perfect. We should get that moved over here in a second. But the 4 of you standing outside the tavern as the carriage disappears. Yedra walks up to the front door and opens it for you all. You can see inside. It's a large tavern with multiple tables set up, many chairs. You can see on the other side of that room is a bar with bar stools lined in front of it. A human male manning the bar. Large, brawny. He's wearing a white shirt with some suspenders, gray pulled back, kind of medium length hair and scruff on his face. Seated at one of the tables close to you to the right, you see a man wearing somewhat regal attire. You can tell he's wearing armor underneath of his cloak. His hair almost straightened and pulled back. Looks a little odd for a half-orc. He seems like he's very primmed and proper, which is a little out of place for a half-orc. And you see another human woman kind of going back and forth to the tables. She's wearing a dress, but you can see stains and kind of stitching here and there on the dress. She has a handkerchief that is tied over her head, and she's cleaning the tables. Well, after you all.
Oh, I could use a drink.
Why, thank you, Yedra. You are such a nice young man. Merla hoidily goes inside.
You'll whisper to Yedra as I walk by. Oh, young does she think we all are? Like 80 something, not that young.
But where did you go, Thad?
I don't know, I just disappeared. I tried to move closer and it just went yeeted to the right.
That was odd. Maybe throw you down a new token, I suppose?
I used my new disappear spell.
Apparently. There you are. Put you in tavern. Set again. Okay. And can you see?
I can.
Perfect. Zara, you follow in as well. Yedra walks in after you, closes the door behind him. The bartender, the larger burly man, notices you all standing by the door, and he waves you all over. Remember, they've seen the dragon, and we should probably get some information, maybe where its lair is, and figure out perhaps anything else they've seen suspicious. With that, I'd trust you to gather some information.
Yeah. I'll just start walking up to the bar.
Merla, keep an eye on everyone, including Zarya. Zarya, please don't break anything.
I walk over to the corner and sit by myself, a little sad that Yedra still hates me and feels the need to tell me to behave myself, and I just kind of go sit by myself and just pout a little bit.
He walks past you and kind of pats your shoulder. Thank you.
So there gets. Heard you've been seeing a red
Yedra.
dragon flying by. Oops.
Yedra sits at a bar stool near you. The bartender. Oh, are you the ones they've sent?
This
You're
is
from Liolis, correct?
correct. Correct. Hear about the red dragon.
Yeah. It flew over us. Actually, a couple days ago. Haven't seen it since.
Interesting. I was told that it was kind of going in and out. Did you see it more than once, or did you just see it that one time?
Believe I am kind of thinking. I included on the letter. It was three days. It came and went. That was the last time was 2 days ago. I have not seen it since. Large red dragon flying overhead seemed alarming.
Maybe here so you can kind of go outside and point out, where it was coming from, where it went to, just see if we can start tracking it here soon. Figure out what it's doing. Was it carrying anything, or is he just swooping past?
I can let you know where it came from and went, as long as you buy a drink.
Yeah. Give me a strong drink. Just surprise me. It just needs to be strong.
He turns around, kind of takes a couple steps and starts pouring you a drink.
I'll take one too, I say, peeking over the bar. Please, sir.
He finishes pouring the first one, fully turns around. Coming up.
Thank you very much. I
Is
also,
that one?
whatever your house specialty is for food, I would love to try.
Oh, my wife makes a great cherry pie.
Oh, yes, please.
I'll just turn to Meryl. I got this for Zarya.
He sets your drink in front of you as you're kind of peeking over the bar, Merla.
Thank you, love.
Honey, 1 pie. You see her kind of stand up from, like, with a cloth washing over one of the tables, and she goes over into this door and closes it behind her.
At this point, I sneak outside and start hitting rocks and branches with my sword. And I'm just beating the crap out of this tree. Just really not feeling very cash money.
Merla, you see Zarya leave out of the tavern, and then you just hear a thwack, thwack, thwack repeatedly as the woman comes back and puts a whole cherry pie in front of you.
Oh my, now that looks amazing. Now, let me tell what sort of seasonings are you using in your cherries? Are you using some nutmeg, some cinnamon? What do you put in your compote?
She kind of alerts up as you ask. It is vanilla, cinnamon, mixed with a little special ingredient. You can't steal all of my secrets.
Now, I love a woman who keeps a good secret. This looks delightful. Thank you so much. I have never seen such a well done pie crust. It's perfectly cooked. Your egg wash had to be exactly right. I'm just very impressed. Especially, I mean, the ovens these days, it's impossible to get a good bake on a crust.
Thank you. We haven't had many visitors with the dragon sighting over the past few days. I'm glad
imagine.
somebody can enjoy it.
I'm sorry to hear that that's been infecting your business. I know how hard that can be on a small family like you.
Oh, yes. And she kind of puts her hand on her like husband's arm. We have been making it by, though. Luckily, the past year has been good. Many travelers going in and out of Lyalis that come down this way.
I cut myself a big old chunk of pie and shove it in my mouth. Oh, that is delightful. Very, very well done. Usually I have recommendations, but that is about the best cherry pie I've had in my life. And that's saying something because I'm older than I look. You know what I mean.
Well, if you take care of the dragon, maybe I'll share the secret with you.
Don't tempt me, please. You know I'm all about to get that recipe. I've been wanting a good cherry pie recipe for the last 35 years. Let me tell you, the one I have is just, it's no good. The pie crust always ends up a little bit soggy, and my compote has the wrong flavor balance. I've been messing with it forever, and I can't tell you what that would mean for me. So with the dragon coming and going, your husband said, was it a particular direction these last 3 days?
I'll have him show you. And as she does this, the half-orc male gets up out of his seat and walks over to the bartender. Can I have my room, please? His hand's actually behind his back, kind of standing at attention. The room key. Think I'll check in for the night. The bartender reaches
Honey, have
down.
you tried this cherry pie? You really should not be going to bed if you have not had a slice of this pie. This is a whole other world of flavors.
It's not in my diet regimen.
See, I've been watching my weight too. I understand that. You got to keep it all tight, and I see you have got muscles to spare, young man, and that is very impressive. But all that being said, this is the only life you live, and this might be the only time you're in this tavern with this opportunity to try a bite of this pie. right here. Just a little nibble.
I thank you for the recommendation. I will possibly pick it up. He actually gives you a bow, and then takes his room key. I overheard you were looking for the dragon.
We are, yes.
Well, I'll let you know that I am here to kill it.
Oh,
In the name of Noblesse Veronica, I'm on a quest. If
by
you
yourself?
learn it as a knight looking to take the hands of a fair maiden, it would be wrong if I wasn't.
Sounds like you have a whole lot going on, young man.
Thank you, I think.
It's mostly a compliment. Are you sure that you want to turn in for the night, or you wouldn't want to join us and maybe we can share information? And pie. Or mead, whatever, whatever suits your fancy.
Well, as the dragon's lair is over toward the mountain, the fine gentleman here can show you, as he has shown me. I do not wish to fight it at night. So I think best to wake up bright and early. Bring my best self to slay the beast tomorrow.
You're killing it tomorrow. See, I can absolutely respect where you're coming from, but would you potentially consider delaying that plan a little bit? We are just looking to chat with it.
You are looking to chat with an evil red dragon?
Well, evil seems like a little bit of an aggressive term. Have you met him?
Well,
All of the chromatic dragons only wish the destruction of the human races.
And yet he's flown over this tavern thrice without causing a single harm.
I think this dastardly villain must have a plot that I plan to stop myself.
Mister, you seem to know a lot about dragons. Have you
As
noticed?
knights do.
Have you noticed that there's a lot more dragons about now than there has been recently, acting strange?
I found it a good opportunity to prove myself to my lady, since one is so close, too.
Okay. Well, we're trying to talk to this one to figure out why they're all being so active. If we have just one, it could be an issue, but if there's 20 of them acting strange and doing their dastardly plans, like you said, this is going to be more than a little issue. That's why we're trying to talk to it.
Well, I will honor my agreement. I will kill it tomorrow in the morning. You have until then if you wish to speak to this dastardly creature. Just do not give it wind that I will come for it in the morning.
I would never plan to do that. I would just delay your destruction if you knew you were coming.
As well, he puts his hand on the counter. Do not take my trophy. This beast is mine alone.
Completely understand. It doesn't seem like a super healthy relationship, though, if you're having to prove yourself. A good looking guy like you, I'm sure you could find a lot of nice girls who didn't require dragon slaying to marry.
Not any nice girl will do, madame. Noblesse Veronica is the fairest in the land.
Understood. We've all been there.
Well, I'll let you get to bed here. Talk to my companions and maybe have a slice of pie myself. It's nice meeting you, Mr. or Sir.
Oh, yes, my apologies. How could I forget formalities? My name is Lionette Lioncrest.
Such a
Lionette. That's a lovely name. I'm Merla Tosscobble. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Mr. Thaddeus Stonebreaker.
I reach out for a little tiny handshake.
He kneels down to your height and gives his hand out and shakes your hand in a soft manner.
Oh, you're gonna be a good husband. I can tell you're a gentle man with a true heart. I would again ask you to reconsider sharing some pie, but I also understand you're very responsible and you have your priorities straight, and pie is apparently a priority, which everybody's different, and that's fine.
Yes, I must make sure that I am in tip-top fighting shape for tomorrow.
That sounds perfect. You have a good night, sir. I'll give him a little handshake. I'm going to match his grip and then go a little above his using my gauntlet to make sure not to like hurt his hand or anything, but just to have a little more strength behind it than his.
He grips your hand and you can feel it a bit. A firm handshake. I respect it.
I just try to match those who I shake hands with.
Well, I wish all of you good luck on your endeavors.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good evening, Lionel.
Lion crust.
As he grabs the key off the counter, turns and walks out. Sorry,
I turn
you're
to the
still
boys and I go, well, that's a problem.
I'll just like look at my hand and show the crystals in my palm. We found these interesting things. I'm gonna wait until he falls asleep and essentially barricade him in his room for the day.
I like where your head's at. I would like to give a little signal to Zarya outside. I just whistle.
Zarya, you hear this whistle, you know of Merla, basically calling for your attention. You see the half-orc that you saw in the tavern walk out, and he goes around to the stairs that go up to the second floor, and he walks up and goes inside.
I am knee-deep in just hacking this tree, and I give like a little wave thing, expecting that somehow Merlo could see me even though she can't, and I'm just like, I'm busy, and I just continue hacking the tree, just very upsetty spaghetti.
Do you usually come in when you whistle or something? Or?
Honestly, it depends what mood she's in.
Ah.
Her responsiveness is like the wind.
Ah.
Well, I think we should. Yedra gestures over to the bartender, the tavern owner. I believe you were going to show us in which way the dragon traveled. Yes, I will show you. The
I
tavern
wrap
owner,
up whatever is left of my pie into one of my dirty handkerchiefs and stuff it in a pocket.
The woman brought you out the pie, stands where her husband was, basically manning the bar. And Yedra starts walking out behind him.
As soon as I see Yedra coming out, I immediately sheath my sword and stand like in front of the tree, trying to block the very, very sketchy situation that I've created where it's
Tree's
slightly
teeter-tottering right now.
teetering, and I just kind of do one of these, oh, hey, guys.
Oh, that's where you were. The owner here, Mr. Drutz, has given us the pleasure. He's going to point us in the direction that the dragon has been traveling.
Dragon, right. Yep, I knew we were here for a reason. That's awesome. Let's go over there and look for that. As I kind of like shuffle, still blocking the tree.
The tavern owner kind of just looks over and then turns around and starts walking actually that direction. And he points toward the closest mountain. Just straight up points. Puts his hand down and turns around. That is where it came from and went back to.
Thank you.
And which way was it headed?
Just the opposite. He turns and points off into this direction. It flew over the tavern and went straight off into that direction. And then it came back the exact same way.
I'll walk up to him.
Is there anything of interest in that way? A town or...
I believe only in that direction are more mountain range and then the coast.
Interesting.
If he is an adult red dragon, they can travel long ways in a day. He could. Even going off the coast, possibly.
Yes, if he was traveling the entire time, I would put him out into the ocean.
I'm thinking the likelihood, if everybody's assumptions of this poor creature are correct, if there are other cave dwellings, he might be going to visit a friend for tea and plotting, but probably just tea. Hopefully just tea. Probably plotting.
Islands, yes. Who knows? We will assume.
A tea party and plotting.
All of the best laid plans are laid over tea. Everybody knows that. That's why the British Empire.
The Empire. Well, since we are restrained to checking out this beast by morning, maybe we should go off where it originally came from. We might find its lair.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm refreshed. If our friend here needs any extra energy, I heard there's a lovely cherry pie in there.
I brought you a slice, actually. Sorry. I pull out the remnants of my pie wrapped in my handkerchief.
Yedra kind of leans over. Do you think sugar would be a good idea?
I already knowing what Yedra's going to say, don't worry. I won't eat any of the pie. And I walk back over and just start hacking at my tree again.
I go back up to her, I give her a couple almonds, and I say, we'll split the rest of the pie when we're done here, okay?
I just
As a
nod
treat.
sadly, take the almond, put it in my pocket. I don't even eat it, and I just keep hacking my tree.
And as you walk back, Merla, to Thad and Yedra, Yedra leans over. Is she okay? Or is she just prepping for the battle to come?
She's got some baggage. This is how she copes. As long as her blade is sharp, I'm really not too worried about it. She hasn't killed anybody in like 2 whole days. That's big for her.
Well, perhaps we can find her new teeth for her belt while we're in the mountain.
I hear him say that, and I just kind of at least like a little bit lean over, and I'm like, and then I go back.
Hopefully, not a bear, but the mountains. There should be some creatures. Well, shall we go off?
Yeah, I'll just shuffle around in my bag and get 2 gold pieces to pay though. Or
You start to walk back toward the tavern, and you hold out the gold pieces, and he stops, kind of turns toward you, and puts his hand out.
Go. For the information, pie, and possibly that tree.
He just says, "Thank you," and walks back into the tavern, closing the door behind him.
Do you think that was too generous? You know, I haven't had any visitors recently. I think that'd be nice.
I think that was extremely generous considering we're about to resolve a dragon problem for them. But I'm sure they appreciate it, and as long as I get that cherry pie recipe, I honestly don't care.
Sure. I just figure there's usually a horde that comes with a dragon, so I'm sure I'll get more than 2 gold back here soon.
It was very sweet of you, Thaddeus.
Well, with the mountain being so close, I think we should continue by foot.
I'd say so.
And just see Thaddeus click his heels together and just start walking a lot faster than he was.
Does he say there's no place like home?
No, but apparently in the description of the speed boost, you have to click the heels together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do some stretches before I start walking. My bones are a little older than yours. I gotta keep nimble.
I start walking, but I'm slashing at random things along the way and stabbing trees casually, just real angsty.
You walk through the path and past the road that you came in from, cross over it, and you go into the forest by under the base of the tree. Sorry, you keep hacking at random things as you walk along. Thaddeus keeps accidentally getting too far ahead of the group and slowing back down. Merle, you're walking kind of as fast as you can, but you see Yedra kind of slowing himself down to keep close.
Does like me, cutie.
Your little halfling legs. And about an hour of walking through the forest, you get to the base of the mountain, and you follow this creek that leads through the forest and actually goes into the mountain. You follow it at Yedra's, describing that if it goes into the mountain, means there's usually some sort of cave system, or it's coming off of the mountain in some way. So there should be something there.
Fascinating. This is a beautiful little creek. I would absolutely sit down here and read a book. This is just a perfect spot for an afternoon picnic.
And if you guys over a second. The sun has begun to set, and it starts getting dark out.
I pull out a torch. I put my sword down for a second, pull out a torch, hand it to Merla, and then go back to hitting my trees.
Thanks, sweet pea.
A lovely idea, Zarya.
I give a little smile at the fact that he even spoke to me, and I'm like, and then I walk a little further and hit the trees further away so that the shrapnel doesn't hit them.
You follow the creek like Yedra says, and you do end up finding an opening at the base of the mountain that goes into a cave system. You can see just from the entrance, it goes down into it, and the creek actually flows into the cave entrance. And I think that's a perfect place to take a short break. So we'll take 5-10 minutes here, kind of refill our drinks, use the bathroom, and we will all be right back. All right. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for waiting while we just got refreshed. So, gonna hop straight back into where we were. So, the three of you and Yedra have come upon this cave at the bottom of the mountain, coming in through the forest with the creek running through it. Let's actually give you vision there if we want to switch over to adventuring. And can everyone confirm that you can see? Perfect. It's a pretty large cave entrance. Looks like it's naturally carved out of the side of the mountain as the creek runs through it. Those with dark vision can kind of see in. A little bit of daylight is still coming through. So you get, Merla, you can still see. And then you do have your torch kind of radiating that light around you.
I was going to say, I need a torch. I'm in the dark.
Apply that to you.
I'm gonna just
Oh, there you
start
go.
walking
We're
into
good.
I'm just gonna start walking into the crevice.
I'm
Just-
gonna start walking right behind Zarya and just kind of look around and notice Meryl might not be, Merla, sorry. Merla might not be right there.
Sure. We'll put the blind girl in the back.
Let's see. Hey guys.
I,
And-
already knowing that it's going to be a problem, have lit another torch after I gave her one so that I have a torch in the front. That's not a thumbs up. That's a torch. There we go.
And as you start walking, quickly walking into the cave, Yedra does say out, "Remember, we're here to gather information, not kill the thing."
I turn around and I say, Yedra, I'm trying really, really hard, okay? I promised I would do my best, and I will. Can you just give me like 1% trust, please?
Let's see how this goes, and I may.
I
I
keep
will
walking
let
in.
you lead through.
I'm walking. I'm already walking. I'm ready.
Alright, so you take the lead and walk into the cave system. To your left, you can see the creek kind of run up, and there's a small ledge that the water's trickling down. You can see kind of distance into the cave. Over there seems to be another either pathway or room of the cave. To your right, you see a long passageway that splits off to close to you, a path to your left, further down, a large opening in the left, and then continues on to the right.
I turn around and I look at Yedra and I say, hey, guy with the intimate relationship with dragons, any recommendation on which route to take here?
Usually, they stay to the far back of the cave system.
I go like this and look at him.
He catches up to you and takes a look. Red dragon. Probably the right.
Alrighty. And I start walking whichever way he said.
I whisper up to him and I say, are you saying that because they both start with R?
No, they usually stay away from the water.
Oh,
That's good to know for later.
All right. Zarya, you take some steps into the cave. You can see through that small room to your right, leading into a large room where you can see a pool of water and it flowing down from above. So echoing through the entire cave system, you hear this trickling of water that kind of echoes through. Further down, you see the two pathways you saw before. Opening up to the far right, you can see it kind of branching around the corner. To the left seems to lead to a very large room.
I kind of like nudge Yedra and point towards the large room, and I'm like,
Most likely.
I nod and I start walking that way.
as we're walking, I'm humming. God, the acoustics in here are incredible. Love to break out my lyre.
Well, we should probably hold off. Probably
I
actually
wasn't going
be very
to.
quiet.
Saying I would like to.
Yes, but perhaps as we approach the red dragon,
Yeah.
we may want to use a little bit more stealth.
Tact. Okay. You're talking. Yeah, never mind. No comment.
Would you have a recommendation?
Well, personally, if it was me making the plan instead of us just blindly parading in a line into a cave, I would say one of us here has the ability to turn invisible. Oh, it's me! What do you know? You too? Okay, so why don't we maybe have the two people who can be undetected do some recon before we just walk right into a house without even knocking?
Really quick, Merla, I'm not an expert or anything. Maybe I am. Who knows? Yedra, tell me if I'm wrong. Can't dragons see through that?
I will admit Zarya is correct here. Adult dragons can see through invisibility.
So at that point, then you're just an invisible asshole going into a cave with a red dragon asking questions while invisible, which seems like a really poor idea. If we're going to talk,
They can see through invisibility?
True sight, Merla, you know this. I know, you drove, which is a lot on you.
It's new.
Okay, my vote is we find a nice little wall, next to the room, and we just give a little knock knock. Because either we're fighting him or we're asking him questions, but we're not avoiding him. So, bite the bullet, right?
Perhaps the person who knocks should be me.
I love that idea, Yedra. I'll stand behind you.
I'll be right behind you, Yedras. I think I'm the only other one that can speak Draconic.
Possibly. Well, you all wait here. I'll give a signal once I get an assessment of how things are.
Hopefully that signal is not screaming. Sorry, was that my outside voice?
I probably wouldn't be able to scream when we are burning alive. It'll be okay though.
Super.
Well, at least one of us is good with fire. As he continues off.
One of us? I don't think that's me.
Not me.
Hey, Yedra, quick question.
Yes.
Since you know so much about these dragon people, things, whatever, do red dragons have any weaknesses that you would know of? Possibly?
That is the terrifying thing. No, not really.
Well, that's not very helpful because see, my sword here does some like pretty cool stuff, and then I get really quiet and like a little bit sad looking as I hold my sword. Anyway, it does different types of damage. So if you think of anything, I guess just let me know. And I put my sword in, and I just kind of like walk away from the group, real awkward.
Well, if it does come down to battling it, we definitely don't want to allow it to take the air. So keeping it in the cave would be the best. And then it has a breath of fire, of course. I'm sure we're all familiar. So stay spread out. Is everyone okay with this? Attack from a distance. Don't get eaten or burned alive.
Yeah,
Sounds like a great plan to me.
sounds like a great plan. Let's all just not die.
Perfect. And if you hear, we'll say, an alarming sound of anything, I can teleport out of here. So, we'll say, what was that one person you mentioned back at the guild house?
Jenny?
Peaches.
Oh.
We'll use the word peaches. If I yell peaches, it means run.
So we've got a safe word now.
I wasn't going to call it that. But yes.
Peaches?
Hey, Yedra.
Yes.
If you can teleport, what if like we touched you while you teleported? Would we also teleport, or are you only going to teleport?
It would just be.
So what you're telling me is you're going to yell peaches, which is the safe word. We're going to run through an entire cave system, and you're going to zap outside.
I mean, to be fair, I
Precisely.
can teleport a little bit, but I also can't take baggage.
Yeah, you know, when I thought we were becoming friends. Oh well.
Well, you
and then I
see,
start
the
walking.
dragon knows that I'm here. It doesn't know you are. So it should give you a head start.
Why would the dragon know that you're here?
Because I'm about to go talk to it.
I thought it was. Oh yeah, no. All right, yeah, sure, okay. By all means.
Anything else before I go?
No, I think we've covered it.
Okay. And if worse comes to worse, give me a good burial.
Ah,
He
I know
steps
where
away.
to notify. It'll be fine.
Ah,
I believe in you.
you're thinking that. Yedra continues on, and he turns toward the big opening, and goes around the corner, and you hear a soft knock. As you see him like knock on the edge of the wall. Friend, I have come here to commune. I'm looking for information on the dragons of this area. You hear he starts to get further and further away as he speaks. Any assistance would be appreciated. And then he switches and you hear him start talking in Draconic. Thad, you understand him saying, we mean you no harm. We just wish to gather information and possibly help one another.
I also speak Draconic, so I understand what he's saying.
Perfect. Those that understand Draconic understand what he's saying. I let you hear just some sounds of like almost like growling and gargling of different like vowels.
Beautiful language. It's almost as nice as French.
And then after a moment, you don't hear anything from Yedra. Huh. Guys, I think you should come in.
Oh,
I run.
All right, I come right in.
Sprinting. Quick little legs. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You
have slow
all
little
rush
legs.
over. Zarya, you stop at the entrance. You see this large cave opening. The ceiling opens up above, branches out into two paths that kind of round about the middle section. It's completely empty other than a pile of treasure off on the far side of the cave.
Oh, that's not good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but dragons don't usually leave their treasure unattended, do they?
At least not for long.
So either we have a problem or we have a problem, because he's either gone or he's gonna come back.
How late in the day is it? Well, he said he was going out like clockwork every day, so maybe he's not back yet. Super late.
Recall, he
They
said
haven't
that
seen
he
him in
came
2
back
days.
before night. And that.
I walk over to the treasure and I just poke like a coin
Zarya!
or something. Like I just give it just a little poke.
Sorry, a Cave of Wonders world rules. Hands to yourself.
I'm not gonna take it. I'm just seeing if it spurs any excitement.
It's not
Okay.
yours.
I'm not gonna take it yet.
As you say, as you like poke kind of a little small mound of gold coins, it all kind of just trickles down. And nothing happens.
If somebody did that with my bookshelf, I would be absolutely livid.
Well, you know what? If it gets him to come back faster, it makes this go faster. All right?
Yedra, more to the point, are those dragon eggs?
You see him actually knelt over there, looking at them. They are, which is actually more concerning.
Why is that
Mother
concerning?
of Children.
Well, if you think about it, most mothers have a motherly instinct.
And they're not here with the eggs
Dragons.
or the treasure.
Exactly. Dragons and their offspring. Think of it about 10 times the intensity.
Super duper.
Do you think the eggs are still viable?
Let me check.
I walk over and I just poke one of the eggs very, 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 very gently.
Zarya!
Like the softest possible touch, just a little boop. Like you'd boop a puppy.
You boop the shell of the egg, and even just the small little touch, you actually see a little crack form.
I immediately go like this and just stop touching everything.
Wait one moment. He lights a small flame in his hand, and Yedra puts it up to the egg, and you can actually see kind of the inside of the egg. And you don't see anything inside of it.
Hey, Yedra. Isn't there supposed to be something that you could see in there?
Yes. He looks all around the egg. It seems as though the wormlings have been taken out of the egg, but the egg is still intact.
How
Hey,
is that
wait.
possible?
Didn't you say something about teleporting? Do you think dragons could teleport?
Infants?
I don't know.
As they get older, dragons can learn magic almost innately, but wormlings don't have the ability right off. Especially red. They have a less touch with magic.
And another dragon couldn't like zoop him out of there?
No, most spells of teleportation, unless very, very strong, you have to see the things you're looking to teleport. And in this case, the shells are still intact. The magic energy of the teleportation would have definitely cracked and opened the exit from the inside if, say, something was to teleport it out.
I'm gonna go look around, and I start walking the opposite direction to look in one of the other surrounding areas.
Dragon
You turn around from the treasure and begin to walk toward the where you came in, and you hear some like cracking as you walk out of the cave, and you kicked a skeleton that was actually just lying on the floor. You look around and you can see scorch marks around the skeleton.
Looks like our friend here did not make it.
Probably some unfortunate fellow that wandered into a cave.
I wonder if it was that orc dude.
You.
He said he wasn't
Yedrick.
coming up until the morning.
Yeah.
Yedra comes over. This has been incinerated long before now. I'd say at least a week.
I'm a little concerned, guys.
Yeah, it seems like a dragon should be here. Or if maybe she's out looking for her wormlings.
Very.
I don't know what that is, but something happened there.
Perhaps something happened over the past couple days that might explain perhaps where the dragon has gone. Maybe we should ask the innkeeper if the last time it came by, if there was anything peculiar about its flight back in.
He said that it hasn't been back. They haven't seen it in 2 days, but they didn't say whether or not it came back. They said that it came and went 3 days in a row like clockwork, and then they haven't seen it for 2 days. So if it came and went 3 days in a row, that means that it came and it went, which means it should be here, unless they just weren't paying attention.
I mean, to their credit, it is hard to miss a dragon.
Right. I don't like it.
Well, while we're here, we might as well explore the surrounding areas because obviously we got to figure out what happened. And at this point, all we have is some empty eggs and some treasure that I'm not even allowed to touch. And I haven't killed anything. So,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I'm going to go look around.
And here, Yedra actually walks over to the treasure, and you hear him cast a spell. His eyes kind of glow blue, and he looks over the treasure. There's no magic or traps around the treasure, so you are free to take it as you would like.
So we could take the treasure.
Yes. We might upset a red dragon, but it doesn't seem to be around anyway.
Could have been anyone.
I walk over to the pile and I just find the shiniest thing I can find and grab a handful and just kind of...
I would let you know the dragons, they do tend to magically attune to their treasure. So if it is still alive, it would definitely know that you took it.
I immediately put it back down, but I also give him a very weird look because I noticed his slip and I just kind of give him a and I just clink, 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 drop it on the pile.
If we think that it is dead, the treasure is harmless. But also, if we want the dragon to come to us, if we take the treasure, well, it would know.
None of these sound like stupendous options here. And I'm getting a little bit nervous.
So if we take part of the treasure, will it know instantly? Will it make it want to come back?
Yes, dragons have a sort of obsession with treasure.
Doesn't seem like a super great act of trust to steal from it when we're trying to get on its good side and get some information.
That is the
Yeah.
doubt.
But it is a surefire way to get its attention if it is alive.
Yeah, but if someone broke in your house and stole your goods, stole your cherry pie, and then you were like, "Oh no, buddy, that was just a joke. I actually want to be friends."
I pick
Not
up
a
a
joke.
coin and I hold it up to my mouth and I go, "Hey, dragon, I would love to help you find your babies. We just want to talk. Would you like to talk to us?" And then I put the coin to my ear like I'm like the dragon's gonna talk back to me through the coin.
I don't think that's how it works. Sorry, Abib.
I
Seemed like
don't
a
think
snake.
either, but
Good effort.
perhaps I will do this. And Yedra walks up and he takes a single gold coin and puts it in his shirt pocket.
Okay.
I lean over to him and I go, "Can I have that when you're done with
Yes.
it?"
He turns around and starts walking. I think we should look for more information. Perhaps ask the tavern folk again if anything has happened over the past couple days. Heck, even the knight we met might have some more information. It seems like he's done his own investigation.
Well,
Well, at
while
least
we're
we
in
know
this
that he
cave,
won't be able to kill him.
true. And while we're in this cave, I feel like we should at least just take a quick little look around and see if we see anything else weird.
Feel free.
I'm going to use alarm. Will the alarm just go off in the area, or will it let me know? I think it's just audible.
I believe. Double check. You can set how it goes off. And alerts you on her.
Mental or audible.
Yep. So you determine.
Okay, so I'm gonna set an alarm kind of in like the central area here to go off if anything walks over it.
I have an idea, and you know what? I really should lay off the sugar because I swear it slows my ideas down by quite a lot. This is a red dragon, yes? Did anyone happen to describe it to us so we could you describe it to me exactly what it looks like?
I mean,
Big.
dragon generally an adult,
Scaly.
20 feet tall, 40 to 50 feet long from head to tail, wingspan equal in size, red scales up and down its body, hardened blue, yellow scales over its stomach, generally yellow eyes with the slits. But there are many red dragons out there.
Yeah, well, here's my thought. I'll find us the closest one. Okay, cool. Boop.
Boop.
You wait a moment. And as you cast locate creature, you feel a pull couple miles further down the mountainside as you go in that general direction to find. As you do, you begin to hear almost a melody in your head, almost like a humming.
Okay, couple things. Number one, definitely found a dragon. Not very far, a couple miles, so we could totally get to it. Number two, it's singing, and I feel like that is not good.
Maybe it's very good. Maybe it's singing to its babies. Like a good mama.
It's babies that are not in their eggs that never hatched. That sounds not scary at all.
Divination magic. Tricky. But well, I will put this to a vote. Should we, he kind of points toward the direction of the cave opening, go exploring to where Zarya has pinpointed the area of the dragon would be within at night? Or should we go back to the tavern until morning, perhaps even take this dedicated night with us to where this dragon is?
Do you think we can get him to come with us and let us talk to it before he tries to attack it?
He won't be able to find it. I mean, unless it comes back in between the night and the morning.
That is true. So we give him information on where it is, and
No.
he lets us talk to it beforehand.
No, what we tell him is that there is no dragon. And that's how we're all still alive with all of our limbs. We convince him that there's nothing to see there, the best of our abilities, and try to get him not to go at all.
Why would we not want his help? Exactly.
I don't trust him.
Neither do I, but guess what? If I don't trust him and he does something that I don't like, then I kill him. And you know what? That's a win for me.
I also could just take control of him for an hour.
So I guess we're fine.
Okay, fine.
I
A few of
didn't
these
say I'd
statements
kill
have
him
been
right
slightly
away.
disturbing.
Well, you're not exactly showing your whole deck of cards either.
Yedra.
Yeah,
Fair.
just him.
Thank you, Thad.
Bad.
No, don't
yes,
sass that.
Thad.
That is fun. We like that.
Acting
That with
the
thighs.
Here's what I know for sure, Merla. Thad knows Yedra's secrets, and Thad didn't tell us them. And we're
That is
2
a
days
good
into
friend
this.
for not betraying trust, and you would appreciate that trait in one of your own compadres.
I did
Look,
tell you guys
bro.
that Thad had a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Or Yedra had a lot of trick up his sleeve.
It's true.
Yes.
I respect that.
I would say a powerful elf sorcerer would be a good companion and ally.
Elf sorcerer. So that's what the kids are calling it these days. Okay, your secret's safe with me.
Not on any drugs, just magic.
Mm-hmm.
At least that makes one of us.
You know, I am many things, and one of them is a woman, which means my hearing is pristine, and I remember everything. An elephant never
yours.
forgets.
Crazy.
So,
Yes, we never forget, especially when trust is broken, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Neither do I. So, what do you think? Should we go toward this cave system, find the dragon at night, or do it in daylight?
I vote daylight.
Yedra, you seem to be the expert. What do you think?
Oh, good call.
Well, to the dragon, it doesn't matter whether it's day or night, so it would just be whether or not it would be advantage or disadvantage for us.
I can't see in the dark, but the cave's dark either way, so I don't care.
Yes, though,
Well,
say a lit torch starts coming down a hallway, I think it alerts whatever is there that we are.
Yeah.
I can give you dark vision once we come in contact with the dragon.
Are you pooping me?
Yeah, it
Also,
lasts for 8 hours, so it should be okay.
So by disadvantage,
The best present ever.
how much of a disadvantage is this at night exactly?
Well, if we're going in to sneak and say our halfling is able to see, actually might be advantageous to go at night then. In this case now.
Sounds
How
like a
about
good
that?
plan to me. Well, let's do that.
I could see. Oh my god, I've always wanted to see in the dark.
You're making her dreams come true.
You don't understand how inconvenient this has been.
Should we get about halfway there, and then I'll give that
Works
to you.
for me.
Because just want to be on the safe side so it doesn't, run out while we're fighting a dragon. Or talking, hopefully talking.
Probably
Yes.
for the.
All right, let's head out.
Oh, sorry. You said it was a couple miles off to the northwest, correct?
Yeah, I point to whatever direction I felt it and heard the singing.
All right. We'll check the caves on the mountain and see if we can locate where its new lair must be.
Oh man, I'm getting excited already.
Noibus.
All right. So you all leave the cave and begin to walk in the forest. It is night now, so the sun has set. It is dark. You hear the sound of small animals rustling in the bushes and the trees, and crickets chirping, the wind moving. The three with dark vision are looking over the sides of the mountain and the base, looking for any sort of cave opening. Merla,
I'm just looking up at the stars.
I have Merla hop on my back, and I'm walking around, looking around, and she's just on my back looking at the sky because I know she can't see anything anyway. Wouldn't want her to trip.
Sweet lady.
you look over this mountainside and up on the side of the mountain, kind of a pathway that leads up to it, you see a large cave opening, elevated up the mountain. So just a small hike up. It returns. Well, as good of a cave to check as any. This is about the distance, correct, Daria?
Think so. A couple miles.
Gonna
right.
reach up to Zarya's back, put my hand on Marla, and start whispering and throw my hand around, cast my dark vision on her. She can see up to 60 feet in the dark now.
This is how you guys see all the time? This is amazing. What?
You look over everything. The tone and color of everything is kind of grayed, kind of in like a gray scale, but you're able to see everything in your surrounding.
Oh my gosh.
Here, Merla, throw this rock at that squirrel over there. It's really fun.
Oh, but what did he do?
Don't worry, I promise it won't kill it. Just don't hit its head. They're fast.
I think
I take the rock and chuck it at the squirrel anyway.
Roll me
Sorry, little brother.
a long-ranged attack, just for the whether you hit it or not.
Let's see. What is my... close enough.
And
That
think
hits.
I think I hit the squirrel.
Hit her in the eye.
you hit the squirrel, and you hear a Merla. You see the squirrel just drop.
Oh.
It gets up and scurries away.
Oh.
Told you I wouldn't kill it. It's fine.
Yeah, it just probably has a couple broken limbs.
I mean, you could probably heal it, maybe, if you want.
Let's just keep going. I don't want to think about it. I want to talk about it.
So how do you like seeing at night? Just trying to change the conversation.
It was really nice.
As y'all are walking up the mountainside, Merla's still on Zarya's back, even though she can see.
Comfort.
You walk up the side of this mountain and stand in the large opening to this cave system. You can hear the dripping of water echo through. you with dark vision you can see into it. The cave system goes for a while and kind of begins to narrow in toward the back of the cave. And this is where we will end our session.
Sorry,
Have
squirrel.
part 2 here in the next couple of weeks. So next week will be our Halloween special next Saturday. So definitely tune in for that. If you like spooky adventures, I think this one will be a circus. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Excited for part 2. Everyone, have a good day. Please like and subscribe. Bye.